So this is the installation follow-up of the short that I did, and so I want to show you what we're doing here. So I put the last ramp down, and you notice I got it taped with duct tape down to the curb. So it's on we're on a curve here, so things don't line up perfectly, so don't be hating on me on that. But this reason for doing the tape is that when you drill the pilot holes to go in there, that thing doesn't move and your holes line up. So make sure that you do that. Now this kit I'm using, instead of what they're providing, these are 3" by 3/8, and that drill I'm going to be putting into that little Craftsman Black & Decker drill. That's going to go in, and I'm going to drill pilot holes through that, and then I'm going to use that big dog right there, that impact drill, which goes through the cement like butter, and we're going to drill it down 3 inches and drop these things in and tighten them up. As you can see, we have 4 tap holes now that are drilled, and so from those tap holes, that big bad boy right there is going to go ahead and go through that and go down to the bottom. Once we get those, we're going to put those through this unit here, through those holes on the back of the unit right there, and hopefully line them up and drop them in. Now, one thing to understand is they do provide you with anchors, but these anchors are metric. And so if you don't have a metric drill bit, a 3/8 is too small and a 1/2 inch is way too big. I did write these guys, took them 5 days to get back to me. And they said it's between an 8 and a 9 millimeter. So if you do have a metric drill bit, more power to you, you can use these. I prefer to go with the American Standard, which is the 3/8, and they work incredibly well. The one thing that I didn't add on this is that you always want to go ahead and you want to put a tape flag on your drill. Make sure how deep you're going to go. You don't want to go any deeper than the 3 inches that is, and so that is marked off so that when we drill down, it's going to stop there. Also, afterwards, you want to make sure you have either a blower off of a compressor or one of these guys, and you're going to suck up the dust and dirt out of the hole. I'll show you that later. Okay, as you can see, I got the bottom 2 in there. I'm now going to go ahead, sorry, holding this sucker and doing the same thing at the same time is a little difficult. And then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to push this thing through in the hole, and that'll go in. So once we have these in, you're going to need to get them down into the hole. Once you line them up into the hole, you're going to use a highly sophisticated method here. I'm going to put the last one in so I can lay this down. Highly sophisticated method to get them deep into the hole. It's called a hammer, and then a screwdriver to tap on top of it, or if you got a tap to go on top, you can do that, but you want to get them down as deep as you can. And the only way to do that is you got to tap them down in, because they won't slide all the way down into the concrete, because the 3/8 is really tight. And there's the finished product. I had a little issue with trying to get the socket on the rubber because it was a little bit out of alignment due to the either operator error or drilling on a curve. Either way, it's installed. It's not that difficult as long as you get the right tools. Alrighty, have fun. Okay, the last piece of this puzzle is the socket. You want a 1/2 inch socket to go over the top. Sometimes what you have to do is you actually have to take this off, and if it's too close to the rubber, you're just going to have to wedge that in and then knock it tight with the hammer, and then that way you can get that in. You notice how deep those things are? We hammered those in. I want to thank my neighbor Don for helping me out. And so we're going to tighten these suckers up And they do tighten up pretty good. You don't need an extension, but you can use that. Sometimes it's easier. But this just sucks right up. And absolutely solid. Okay, as I said, you want to vacuum out these holes so that you make sure that you don't have any residue down in there, so that it impedes being able to put that anchor all the way down into the slot. So next up, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put that together. We're going to put the anchors through there and drop this puppy in. So hope I got that thing straight.